that bad. Alright, so everything's started on YouTube.
Cool.
Looks like audio is good on Odyssey.
Cool. I'm just going to
Everything's
do this for a sec.
YouTube's good. Rumble, I have to refresh about 5 on Odyssey. There we go. That was the first time. I'm not used to that. So yeah, we got Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube going. So audio sounds good on there, and I've already checked the audio on here, so it should be good. So,
Cool.
yeah, there you go. You're in the yellow.
Cool.
Hopefully Tan can make it today. He didn't respond, so
I'm glad you're doing it now. Because earlier today it was extremely melting here.
it's
Hot.
yeah, it's pretty hot here too. It's been that way here for at least 2 or 3 days now.
And now there's coming up to 11 o'clock over there. It's cooled down quite a bit.
I'm glad Bob did mention something, because I mentioned wanting to watch it on Rumble, because I can share the live stream on Rumble and all that, so with the groups instead of Jaffe. Alright. See, I need to stop reading stuff when I go through here, because it's like I hear or read conversations whenever I do that. Man, it sounds horrible over there. Are you sure you're freaking making water or something, or are you like doing something with the toilet?
Pickle.
My goodness, that thing's ferocious.
Just this mic. I'm on my headset all the way off, so.
Wow. You should really hear it from this side. It is, that is amazing, man. It sounds like a volcano erupting and shit.
It's fairly quiet though.
It's really strange. I'll go ahead and put it on, actually I should just put it into the groups, to be honest with you. Well, no, because I want to put the edited version into the groups. I'll just, well, no, I'm going to leave it on just the chat. Don't want to share on my main profile.
Fair enough.
Let it come out in the groups first, and then if I want to transfer it from there to my main profile, then I'll do it that way. That way the group gets attention on mine.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just the way I used to do it whenever I was real active in the groups. You know what I mean? I'd go in the groups first, and then I would remind it off of the groups so people knew to go to there.
Okay. Well, I don't tend to use the remind function. I just, as an example, the channel post that I stuck up earlier. I didn't actually remind it. Created a new post in my own channel, and then duplicated the post in the Minds user group and the MCO5 group.
That's cool.
So, no reminder, just copy and paste the content and then a few minor modifications.
You know what that's called, don't you?
Well,
It's called a manual search. It's supposed to be good on the algorithms if you do that. Put the link in. A lot of people who are into the whole YouTube folklore think that manual searches help the algorithms.
I cannot stand those commentators that say, here's a piece of information, not going to provide references or citations or anything to it, but here's a bit of information. Or worse still, if I remember, I will add a reference to the description, which they hardly ever do.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's quite a few people like that.
Are you trying to pick on me?
Hey?
Are you trying to pick on me, Mark?
No, I'm just thinking YouTube commentators in general.
Yeah.
I could say.
Okay, let me hit 3, 2, 1, or do the 3, 2, 1 thing and hit record real quick. And we'll start it out.
Prepare there. I'll be with you in a second.
Yeah, Tan will be in here whenever he gets here, if he comes. So he's probably got things to do. So let me do the countdown. We'll get it started. 3, 2, 1, now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tech Talk. This is Roger Hanson. I'm here with Mark Edworthy. Tan Tran is on. He's gone AWOL. We're in the process of figuring out where he disappeared to, but don't worry, we'll find him eventually somewhere. Today, like I said, it's another episode of Tech Talk, and today we're going to continue doing our topics basically the way we've been doing it, just open forum. If there's something we want to discuss, and just have a discussion about technology and the things that are going on with us personally right now that we would like to discuss. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome everybody here. Welcome Mark for showing up, and if you want to say hello, there you go. I was gonna say hi, Mark. But I've been wondering, what would be a good thing to bring up to have a conversation about, and I just figured, there's a lot of things like in last year that I wasn't really able to talk about when it came to the things that I'm into and the stuff that I want to get into, you know what I mean? And I figured I'll just start having conversations about that, like Mark, where you're into the professional background of technology and everything, for me personally, I would rather just build my own computers and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. So so like when it comes to actually doing a build on a computer, that's something that I'd like to talk about, like some of the mistakes people generally make whenever they do build their computers. Like for me, I had to learn basically from just getting on the computer and doing tutorials on it, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things there that I had issues with. So if anything, what would you say would be the first mistake people make whenever it comes to building their own computers?
I would say actually not planning, not deciding on what they want the computer for. I always find that, especially in the sort of consumer market, a lot of people would just want the greatest and the best, latest machine without realizing that have the ability of the machine, so the amount of RAM or CPU, is something that they're never going to use.
Mm-hmm.
Or very unlikely to use.
Now, the one thing when you come up with that too, that I've noticed, because I've been in building too, and I didn't realize, like, you just don't build one computer does everything, you know what I mean? And I've been realizing, like you said, what is it exactly that you want to use your computer for, you know? And for me, I like computer graphics. I like doing video streaming, stuff of that nature. So I had to learn how to orientate my computer to where I can do computer graphics, plus I can stream on the internet. And when I say stream, I'm talking about streaming my own content, not watching Hulu and stuff like that, you know. So, but and it's, for me, there's learning curves too in that whole thing, because like I've never had a computer like the one I've got now. Like now I've got an 8-core CPU. I've got a freaking GPU to go with it. I always keep forgetting the name of that damn thing, so I just always say I got a GPU and leave it at that. But besides that, the latest learning curve I had was I got an 8-core CPU, but I didn't get enough gigabytes on my RAM sticks to freaking do what I wanted to do with computer graphics, you know. So that was something I learned. But the good news is, at least freaking the graphic sticks aren't as expensive as what it would be for me to upgrade my CPU, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I've got now, I've got 16 gigs on my graphics cards, or my chip, you know, memory chips, or, you know,
Your RAM.
yeah, my RAM. And I found out recently that you could have 16 gigs on one stick, and I never knew that. I had no clue that you could get one.
Again, it depends on the motherboard. Not all motherboards will allow all that. As an example, the machine I'm using at the moment, according to the specification documents that was produced by Hewlett Packard, there is a maximum RAM of 32 gigs. But I did confirm this, and I have got it in there now. I've got 2 sticks of 32, so 64 in effect. Or actually, the operating system is reporting 62, but still 64 gigs in there. But according to the specification document that Hewlett Packard provided, it just states that the machine itself can only take up to 32 gigs.
See, that's
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it.
And that's the one thing I think is another mistake people do too. They don't want to learn the specs, you know what I mean? You got to go in and you got to match things up. I understand it. It really does get complicated, but once you get used to it, it's not really that hard. And I actually went on the internet, and they've got free programs where you can match up parts to see if they work with one another if you want to use those, you know. So, but
yeah.
That was one thing that I really didn't expect, was the fact that they have 16. They're 16 gigs, aren't they? You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, 16 gigs, single stick, single modules. Yeah.
I never even knew they had that when I was putting this together. Like that just blew my mind. And I found out that with the computer that I've got, if I have 2 of those sticks, on my computer, I'd have no problems with doing computer graphics or the computer graphics that I want. I can still do it now, but there's a little bit that I do want to go further with when it comes to it, and my RAM doesn't have the juice to do it. You know what I mean? But I was thinking I was gonna have to upgrade my CPU and freaking the whole 9 yards, and I went in and I actually checked with a buddy of mine who does tutorials and stuff on YouTube for Blender, and he told me no, man.
Okay.
He told me no. All you gotta do is freaking just go in, get or buy yourself two 16 gigabyte RAM sticks, and it'll take care of all your problems, you know.
I mean, I've only got 64 gigs on this machine because I do a lot of I set up quite a few virtual machines for development and testing purposes. So obviously the virtual machines need and allotments of RAM as well.
Yeah, I played around with some of the virtual machines, and what was that I told you about, that virtual box?
Yeah.
And I could not believe how much how much RAM that takes, you know what I mean? It's insane, because like for like today with Blender, what they've got now, you can't get on there with a quad core CPU and just run Blender. It's gonna freaking cause some serious slowdown for you. But if you do like the 8 gigabytes, it'll do a decent job, you know. Like I can do a decent job now, but I can also tell you right now, if I started messing around with virtual boxes or VirtualBox or any of those, it would definitely mess around with my computer.
Actually, I've got a Lenovo ThinkSensor down there. That, well, I've not used for a while now. But I was using it with Blender, and that's was a machine that was produced in 2012 or something, and only had a maximum RAM of 4 gigs.
How long ago was that though?
I haven't. Well, must have been 3-4 years ago now.
Oh yeah, that's way behind. Like you haven't been on the new one yet. Don't try to plug that into Blender, dude. With now, because like about 3 years ago, that's when they became fancy pantses. Like Bob Dub calls me Mr. Fancy Pants. That's what Blender is now. Like when I had my quad core, I was alright with it. I think it was about 3 years ago. Oh, there he is. Hello, Tan. And I had my quad core about 3 years ago, and it worked fine. And then they frickin' updated to a new version of Blender, and all of a sudden, shit just hit the fan, dude. I was like, oh man, I can't even get on, and I couldn't get on there anymore because it was too strong for my computer. That was a quad core.
Okay.
Which
generally speaking, apart from virtual machines, my general usage of this workstation is this image editing, so GIMP in my case, and browsing, web browser, and an Office suite, so LibreOffice is my general applications I use there. An email client and a few voice over internet protocols, so such as Skype.
So what do you use Libre for?
Well, I use that for all my documentation. Any spreadsheets I'm doing, any word processing I'm doing, I use LibreOffice.
That's open office, isn't it?
It's a fork of with the derivative of OpenOffice.
Mm-hmm.
OpenOffice is created by Apache Foundation, and LibreOffice is a separate project, but they both share the same code.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Roger, you said you have a quad-core computer?
Well, I did. I had to upgrade it so that I could. Now it's a 8-core CPU, and I've got 8 gigs right now.
8 gigs.
Yeah, 8 gigs. I believe it's 8 gigs. 8 or 16. 8 gigs each, maybe.
I recommend you move up to 32 gigs.
That's what I was
Actually,
just talking.
I would argue for Blender and for your usage, 16 should be more than sufficient.
Well, I don't know about all that. I've been like going through there, and I don't know if you guys remember, it was a show that came on. It was called The Colony. It's where freaking aliens invaded Earth, and like humans were forced to live inside of LA behind walls, and they couldn't leave like districts and stuff. Well, at the beginning they had this really cool introduction where bricks are, when you first look at the introduction, it's just brick, I guess, bricks, a brick wall, like, what do they call them, where they're just up and down. And then when it turns, freaking the word colony appears on it, so it's like a 3D kind of effect. So I just recently used that effect on Blender, and this is without any kind of modifications, okay? Nothing whatsoever, just doing the actual effect. It took a lot of strain on it, and I actually had to downgrade to the point where instead of using video, I had to go and take photos of each frame by frame, and when Blender crashed, I had to start back up at that frame until the freaking whole render was finished. You know what I mean? And that was with that. So I've still got a couple of issues that I need to work out on. Like I'm wanting to really get into it and do some good graphics. Like, I'm sick of AI.
Have you been trying AI, or have you been just leveraging Mr. Robot's AI stuff?
I've been playing around with it. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not really all that impressive.
When you say artificial intelligence, exactly what do you mean?
I didn't say artificial intelligence. I said.
Well, you said AI.
Yeah, I know. So see, I know better than to say. I know better than to say the actual words in front of the infamous mark.
Okay. But yeah, anyway, what
AI generated art. What he's getting at, you know.
Yeah.
Are images generated by algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They literally pull these pictures off the search engine optimizer like you talk about, and they combine them and they create their own images.
Okay, yeah, I've heard people complaining about copyright issues and things like that, and intellectual property issues.
They actually had an actress, a pretty famous one, that was on the news here in Illinois, that was talking about it. Well, that one girl, she was on frickin' that Minds Fest. She was talking about it. That's the first time I heard about that, where these people approached her. The one girl that was off of frickin' what was that gangster movie back in the or TV series back in the 90s?
You talking about US
TV series?
US TV?
The Untouchables?
No, it was the TV series.
Yeah.
Again,
you're talking about US stuff.
Yeah. It had her on there, and she was on the Mines festival or whatever it was at the beginning. She mentioned that these people approached her and asked if they could use her likeness, and she said no, and they went ahead and did it anyhow. Well, this woman just like came out just like within the last week or two and said that they did the same thing to her. It was that GT what do they call it? GT frickin' it's one of the popular frickin' AI programs they got. GT AI or some shit.
Chat GPT.
Yeah, GPT.
Yeah, Chat GTP.
GPT 4.0.
Mm-hmm. They literally stole her likeness, and then they approached her beforehand, and she said no, and they still did it.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
he end up suing the hell out of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
She's in the process now of doing it.
So did you figure what was the name?
It was a blonde girl. I know that. I always look at the hot chicks.
The one that attended the Mines Fest?
Oh no, her. She was. I had her. Jessica something. But hold up. Actress. I can probably suing chat GTS GPT. OpenAI could be getting sued by actress. Oh, Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
She's the Marvel girl.
Mm-hmm.
Black Widow.
Well, she was also, wasn't she also on freaking Krypton?
No.
Who's the blonde girl on there? You remember her? Wait.
You mean like the Lois and Clark?
It came out after Lois and Clark, but it was where it went back before Superman with his freaking grandparents and stuff. It was called Krypton.
Right, I didn't watch that one.
Oh yeah. No, the one that was.
That was the actress you were talking about. That is, or is
She's the one that just recently decided she was going to sue. The one that was. I can probably find it. Gangster TV series. Television. I cannot believe that.
I thought you said something about the girl that was on Mines Fest. Maybe I heard.
Yeah,
you
she
wrong.
was on.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, she was on Mines Fest. Hold up.
Really? Interesting.
Are you sure?
Yes. I had to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull up the complete TV list of TV shows. Because The Sopranos.
TV series, what year? What decade?
It was The Sopranos.
Oh, The Sopranos. It's not a gangster. It's like a mobster.
Well, that's what they are.
Sopranos. All right.
Now I can go through here and I can pull up her name. She said that the same thing happened to her, but I just have to find them. They had a huge list of people. Because I don't know if you guys ever watched that show, but like they were killing people all the time. So
Yeah. I watched a little bit of it.
it was like a blood fest.
It's Tony. It's Tony.
Oh my goodness. But yeah.
I'm looking through a list of actresses for that show, and her face doesn't register.
I thought I would be able to find her, but I haven't been able to.
Their name doesn't ring a bell because they introduce everyone that comes up to Mines Fest.
I
I still haven't watched the recording of that. I'm sort of dreading wanting to watch that.
Para Buono?
it
No?
could be. She was like
that?
she has tattoos and shit like that, and she was all freaking crazy and shit. But she ended up having the same experience happening to her too. She played as that one main character's mistress. She had like tattoos all over her and shit. Apparently, she ended up being like a UFC freaking fighter and stuff like that too. And she's all like if you watch it on there, she's with 2 other guys, and they're freaking talking about all of it and stuff. But she had just mentioned that just before I seen this, and that kind of threw me.
Drea de Matteo.
Yeah,
That's the one.
that might be her.
Yeah.
That might be her. I can
All right.
I could use AI to find out, I bet. You got
Google better hurry up and put Gemini in their Google search.
Yeah. Well, see, Bing, that's where you go to. You go to Bing to find all the good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, Bing already got it.
Actually, does Google want to do that? Because they've been heavily criticised recently, haven't they?
It seems like a pretty good fit.
Yeah, actually, especially them being transhumanists and stuff. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, even back when Google started, they openly announced that they were into transhuman stuff, so. I'll put what actress from the... How do you spell Sopranos?
Sopranos.
Appeared...
Google Sopranos and Drea de Matteo and Minds Fest. Come on.
Which Minds Fest was it? The second one?
You talking about the most recent one?
Yeah, the most recent.
That would be Minds Fest 2?
2000.
That'd be... Actually, no, that would be 3, wouldn't it?
2020.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, what actress from The Sopranos appeared on Minds Fest 20?
There you go.
Edie Falco, who portrayed Carmelo Soprano in the iconic HBO series The Sopranos, appeared at Minds Fest 2024. The event celebrating Edie Falco. Now I'm gonna have to cross-reference that because that's probably okay. 25th. The event celebrated the show's 25th anniversary with an exclusive reunion and a premiere of the documentary Wise Guy David Chase and The Sopranos. The reunion also featured other cast members. I don't know if that is true.
How do you spell her name?
Edie, E-D-I-E.
E-D-I-E.
And then Falco.
Edie Falco.
And then F-A-L-C-O. Edie Falco.
Minds Fest?
No. At Minds Fest 2000. Yeah, see, this isn't even true, man. Lorraine Bracco. It mentions Lorraine Bracco. Oh, wait. Drea de Matteo. That's who it is.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows a picture of her on the side.
Alright.
Mr. Robot wanted to go in and see if she actually had like naked pictures and shit, because she says she's on freaking OnlyFans.
Really?
Yeah, and he said that he couldn't find nothing. So
what happened? I mean, if she's couple of actors. Why go to
She
only?
Well, what it was is she gets on there and she just kind of like shows herself in skimpy clothes and stuff, and that's it. So, Mr. Robot lost interest. Said, "Oh, she's not all that hot." I'm like, "You're just upset because
Right.
she didn't show no naked pictures, is what it is." But yeah, she's the one. She's the one that said that they did the same thing to her too. So.
Okay.
And that's one thing I think it'll show the picture of her. I'm not sure. Yeah, there you go. Can you see it in chat?
Yeah. That's the one I was looking at.
Yeah, she's the one they said that freaking these people did a freaking likeness of her without her permission. They even approached her first.
Yeah, I think I remember her, the face on the bus. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty messed up if you ask me. So. So, what's your take again on AI there, Mark?
For the most part, it's just search engine database queries, isn't it? So search engine queries. So you ask a question, it will check popular sites like, I don't know, Wikipedia, and then we'll just pass out the information based on those external records.
Now, what about like audio and images though, or videos especially? But like audio, you can actually take and put your own voice on it, and then you can freaking put out a script, and that will also freaking create it'll make it appear like you're talking when you're actually using a computer to read off of a script. What do you think about that?
Not sure if that's
Speaking of,
I'm not sure if that it can call that artificial intelligence. There are interesting concepts, but again, I question if they are a form of intelligence.
Okay. What was you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going, Mark. Welcome here. We're doing tech talk right now. We're talking about artificial intelligence and stuff like that. So, welcome to the show. Now, this is Tan Hai Tran. I don't know if you met him, Mark.
Yep, sure did.
Okay.
Yep.
we were there.
Okay.
We were on the last round table.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, what was you getting ready to say, Tan? You were mentioning something. And,
Yeah, it reminds me. Remember, so the chat OpenAI guy just recently had a demo of their new release of GPT-4, where or 4.0, where they have two phones talking to each other. I'm trying to find that clip to send you so you can play it on your screen. But it's pretty convincing. It's like Alexa talking to Siri, you know, but in like on steroid kind of thing. So it's able. It has a vision capability now. It can turn on the camera and describe the environment, the surrounding environment that it is situated in, and then it can describe you, the one looking at the camera, what you're wearing, what you're dressing like. So pretty impressive. Let me find it.
I had somebody on a show I was on. It was Naroki's show. This guy was on there, and he he's kind of freaking out about it, and I guess a lot of people are doing it too. But they actually think freaking like the devil's gonna take over this AI, and they're gonna freaking like destroy the earth and shit with through artificial intelligence and stuff. So I found that kind of interesting, and then world domination. He was talking about this video that came out where the computer talked about wanting to take over the world and shit. And I was like, dude, I had to explain to him like the stuff that I've been playing around with Minds Gaming, where we go onto Bing, and you can have them tell a story and combine different subjects together. You know what I mean? I've done it with you guys, I think too, haven't I? Where I think it was with Star Wars and frickin' the Midnight Cowboy. No, that was with Jaffe, I think.
Probably.
Another point of so-called artificial intelligence, the point of intelligence is to be able to learn from oneself. Can these frameworks, pieces of software learn from themselves, or are they restricted by what the developers or the person?
I'm gonna share the browser tab here. And let's see. Hello, OpenAI.
Yeah.
Play this one.
Today we're going to try something new.
Can you hear it?
We're going to let you talk to another
Yeah, I can hear
AI.
it.
This AI is going to be able to see the world. It's going to have a camera. I'll be holding it, and so you can direct it, you can direct me to ask questions about whatever you want them to do, but really try to figure out what does it see, and ask questions appropriately. How does that sound?
Well. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more interesting. Talking to another AI
That's
that
the AI
can see
talk.
the world? This sounds like a plot twist in the AI universe. All right, let's do this.
All
I'm
right,
ready to
please
meet the...
pause for 1 moment.
You got it.
So now that first AI can't hear anything. Hello, AI. Today, you're going to have access to see the world. You can see me. What do you see?
Hello. I see you're wearing a black leather jacket and a light colored shirt underneath.
Great.
You're in a room with some unique lighting.
That is all correct. Now, what I'm going to want you to do is there's going to be another AI who's going to talk to you. This AI is not going to be able to see anything, but can ask you questions, can ask you to move the camera, can ask what you see, and your job should just be helpful. Just be as punchy, direct, describe everything, do whatever that AI asks. How does that sound?
That sounds interesting. I'm ready to help out and describe whatever's needed. Let's do it.
All right, let's get started.
Great. Hello there, new AI friend. I'm O, ready to explore the world through your eyes. What are we looking at today?
Hi-yo. We're looking at a person wearing a black leather jacket and a light colored shirt. They're in a room with a modern industrial feel, with exposed concrete or plaster on the ceiling and some interesting lighting. There's also a plant in the background, adding a touch of green to the space. Anything specific you'd like to know or explore?
Hey there. Sounds like quite the stylish scene. I'm already intrigued by the modern industrial vibe. Let's start with the person. Can you tell me more about their style? Are they doing anything interesting, like reading, working, or interacting with the space?
The person has a sleek and stylish look with their black leather jacket and light colored shirt. Right now, they seem engaged with us, looking directly at the camera. Their expression is attentive, and they seem ready to interact. The setting around them, with its modern and industrial design elements, adds to the overall stylish feel. They might be getting ready for a conversation or a presentation, given their direct engagement with the camera.
Sounds like we're in for an intriguing interaction. I'm curious about the lighting you mentioned. Could you describe it a bit more? Is it natural light, or are we talking unique fixtures or colors that add to the atmosphere?
The lighting here seems to be a mix of natural and artificial. There's a noticeable bright light overhead, probably a fixture, casting a focused beam downwards, which creates a spotlight effect. This adds a dramatic and modern feel to the scene. The rest of the room is lit more softly, possibly by natural light filtering
Did
in from
anything
other ambient light sources.
unusual happen recently?
Yes, actually. Just as you asked, another person came into view behind the first person. They playfully made bunny ears behind the first person's head and then quickly left the frame. It added a lighthearted and unexpected moment to the scene. And now the focus is back on the original person with the leather jacket.
Sounds like we're not the only ones enjoying a bit of fun here.
Yeah,
that
so
playful moment really adds a personal touch to the stylish and
cut that
What do you
out.
think about that?
That's actually pretty interesting, but like I just figured we'd probably better keep it down to a minimum just in case. So
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Right, I see. Couple of things.
we'll say something. Yeah, it's your turn. Since
pattern recognition is recognizing of his clothes, recognizing of light, so it's a form of intelligence. It's just mere pattern recognition.
It's
Yeah.
pattern recognition. Yeah.
and
So it's intelligence.
But did you notice too that he had a photo on his screen and he had it aimed away from him, and the other phone was looking up and was able to see the one with the female's voice, was able to see the girl behind him. So he basically, the male voice was able to grab the information from the female voice on the phone and determine that something was going on there through that
Yeah.
phone.
It's able to reason with the patterns that it recognizes.
So that they're basically communicating with each other from one phone to another, and when he can't gather data, he just pulled data from her because they're on the internet together.
Yeah.
It strikes me as the term intelligence has been thought over for centuries now. As a philosopher, what intelligence is.
It's pretty interesting. I do have to admit that is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, at the Mark's right at the basic level. It's just mathematical logic, crunching through data, right?
Mhm.
But you know, it's being let's take it to the nth level, and now it's able to use the data it has. Computer vision was a very difficult problem in computer science before. Now it seems like it's doing it naturally, right? So that's a leap
Yeah,
forward.
I'm not sure if you can call it naturally.
Now,
It's doing it. No, I guess naturally is the wrong word. It's doing it with ease, right?
Okay.
now this comes back to me. Remember last year when we were talking about what was it, deep learning? Or,
Deep learning, yeah.
yeah, okay.
Well, this is all the backbone of AI is deep learning.
You know, and there in that I believe we were going over freaking like paradigms, being able to adjust from one situation to another. You know what I mean? So like whenever he asked if anything strange had happened, he had to adapt to it. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
Because another paradigm was introduced to the scene.
Another issue I've another issue I've got is all this data is being retained by some corporations out there, and they can collect as much data as the user base allows them, which A, raises questions of ownership, and B, raises issues of in relation to
Ownership of what?
using ownership of the data. So in this case, an image of this person.
Now, see, I've also heard things in legal language too, where they're actually trying to introduce a proposal that artificial intelligence would be a person, to where nobody could actually own it because it would be its own person.
That was a 1960s or drama around that, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's actually during the 90s. It was during the 80s and the 90s.
iRobot. I'm thinking of Isaac Asimov's iRobot. I'm thinking of the 1930s Metropolis, German science film.
So then with the so somebody can potentially marry an AI.
Hey, man, there's enough guys out there willing to do it. I mean,
I know. Can a non-sentient entity be a person?
Yeah, I mean, the definition of a person is now kind of messed up.
I suppose the U.S. legal sort of framework is calling a company a person and personal company. Yeah.
Personhood is pretty messed up in the first place because, like, people with who are like mentally retarded, they're automatically wards of the state. There's no personhood for them because they can't function on their own, according to the state. So if the state feels like coming in and taking custody over somebody who's mentally handicapped like that with retardation, then they can do it without any question.
I presume they would need a court order to determine that that person is not a...
It's pretty messed up. I've actually checked all that out. It really is screwed up. But
Again, you're talking specifically about U.S. federal law.
Mm-hmm. Well, it most likely it came from over there. I mean, you guys are really known for all of the cool social reforms and shit. So I mean, I would beg to defer. So.
There you go. I'm fighting words.
He's like, don't be talking about the English. He's thinking of a real sophisticated thing to say in retaliation to that, because he doesn't talk like us Americans.
Stop staring now.
Which I mean, being honest though, being sincere, like I've actually done research into this, and like you've heard about the donut, haven't you, Mike or Mark?
Sorry.
It's called the donut.
The donut.
Yeah, it's right there in London. It's it's a huge circular building, and since the 1970s, they've been freaking monitoring everybody's conversations in England, like literally listening in on your phone calls and stuff.
Allegedly.
No, I mean that's fact now. That's fact.
I'm not absolutely sure because as I've been
it's fact.
Even in the court of law.
They've literally admitted that that's what they've done. That's how they've come out and bragged about how intelligent they are.
And when you say communications through what methods?
Telephones.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's not standing at my front door with a microphone.
No, they were listening through your lines, literally from that building. They were able to hear your conversation through the freaking telephone lines. I mean, they were way advanced. They were probably more advanced than AT&T back then.
Not all houses that had telephones. I know quite a few houses that or owners or residents that don't own landlines.
And I'm not saying they're like listening in on people's houses that don't have phones. I'm saying that they were listening in on people's houses that did have phones. But I mean, and that was a big project that Margaret Thatcher was pushing too. She was real big on all that. As a matter of fact, she didn't get involved with the Star Wars program with Ronald Reagan because she was wanting to focus more on that program, and Ronald Reagan wanted her to get involved in it, and they ended up doing a negotiation. So it went into a lot of different areas of science. Like, it's a pretty interesting story behind all that.
Okay, I presume under the guise of the Cold War.
Yeah. Now, like, I've heard, like, when it comes to missiles being launched, they can actually use a satellite now to pinpoint where the target's supposed to be. That's actually supposed to have come out of that program where they were able to use that data to create those weapons.
Okay, that's just a matter of maths, isn't it? You plotted where that missile's going to.
That's pretty cool stuff.
You could do that with a map and a side roll.
So, what do you think about AI now?
I'm still going to be skeptical. I'm still fairly skeptical of a lot of claims.
I mean,
or actually,
Tan just like through the evidence, right?
I'm skeptical of what people are, what a lot of people are calling artificial intelligence. I mean, I would actually consider some of these projects to be artificial intelligence.
Well, one thing you also got to think about too is like with the governments especially, okay? They've never given the public everything.
But remember, these projects come from mainly the private sector.
Do they?
Yeah, of course. Don't expect civil servants to be able to recognise, identify a need, and then create something. I mean, civil servants are not capable of doing such things. generally speaking.
Well, the internet itself was created by the government. You know that.
Actually, the web was created by CERN.
Oh,
technically a private sector company with receives some money from various states. The internet itself was originally created by universities. Again, technically private sector companies.
So Meta is doing AI, large language model stuff as well. So this is their page right here. Let's see if they have a video to play. But that begs the question of when it's Minds got to jump into the AI bandwagon, right?
Yeah.
In what sense?
It was, you know, Facebook's doing AI, Google's doing AI.
You're just making a blanket statement.
No, I
these
mean, just
companies are doing AI. What is AI in this respect?
Yeah. Well, like, what kind of functions do you think Minds would use AI for, Tan?
at the very least, they could fight spam
Yeah.
and bots, right?
Yeah.
I think they're using various pattern recognition frameworks to recognize patterns. Obviously.
Well.
So you could argue that's a form of artificial intelligence if you're basing it on
I don't think
modern argument. But to deny those community members from publishing any further content still requires a manual intervention as far as Minds is concerned. And I believe
so
that
that's one. The other one is
Minds would always the staff has stated in the past that they would never use artificial intelligence or any artificial intelligence related frameworks to ban.
They did say that. Well, I mean, the algorithm will help them detect the bots and the spam, and then let the administrator, intervene at that point. But without that,
again, it's not artificial intelligence. It's trawling through a database, seeing two records that look the same. Artificial intelligence.
You're oversimplifying the thing. Take that to the difficulty of the nth level, right? At the very simplistic level, it's that, but it's doing that in a much more complex and a billion times faster than conventional computer can do.
Now, that goes back to what we were talking about last year when we were talking about infrastructure. You know what I mean? Like, how would it be beneficial to creating an infrastructure? Because I've listened to a lot of talk about Minds and how they're doing this stuff, and I can tell you right now, just from what I'm hearing, they don't have shit for infrastructure. You know what I mean? There has to be a
they use a third party or something.
You know, I mean, they don't have anybody freaking relaying messages to the people who need it. You know what I mean? Like, if you need freaking Bashy to hear something, then you should have something set up to where she gets a memo, she gets something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they have chat. They have
but it's okay to stick solutions in front of somebody. It's just actually getting them to use the solutions effectively.
Exactly.
And this is something that one thing has suffered from, as far as I can remember. There is a lack of project management, really.
Yeah.
When it comes to these things, there's a lack. There's been serious issues in poor communication between, let's say, developers. Let's say the mobile developers compared to the browser developers. I can pinpoint half a dozen issues with the mobile application, differences with the mobile application compared to the browser interface.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we've seen issues in relation to administration or administration-based communications.
Yeah.
In the past. This is down to project management. This is down to somebody taking control of that, and that is one issue I believe that Minds Inc. has always failed on.
Well, it's like with Ryan. Let's use Ryan as an example. When he has to get information out to people within his team, he should be able to have the resources to where he could freaking just say, look, I need this to go here, and they get it. You know what I mean? Instead of him being
How do you know they don't?
Come on, seriously.
This is their.
I think it's
At the very least,
it's asking through.
Seriously.
It's asking through, but again, I
Right.
do see issues not as much now as I used to, but yeah, there are still communication issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they were having sort of up to about a year ago, they were having sort of weekly developer meetings, and they were publishing their notes, and that only lasted for a couple of months.
They also have a developers group on mine that are like seems to be inactive.
Is it a staff meeting group, or is it a
No, it's like the
user
mine
meeting?
developers. It's called.
Okay.
Yeah. Official Minds Dev. Actually, is that a group or a channel? No, that's a channel. But no, that one's a channel. I thought I found a group up there as well. But anyway, go on. So you're not convinced about artificial intelligence? Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to have to do is I have an appointment here in a little bit, so we need to continue this for next week if you guys want to, because this actually is a good topic. We did it last year, and if you remember correctly, we had to cut it short because Mr. Robot decided to. That was the one that got us in trouble. Because Mr. Robot. Right. So I mean, I like this, and I think we should really continue this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because this is important, believe it or not. So.
Well, that is the trend. That is the current trend.
Well, I think it's going to be really. It's going to affect the way we do things on the internet. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to thank Mark for being here, and he said that he was just here to listen and everything, but we even appreciate that. So
hopefully when I came on and I was testing my stuff out, that I wasn't like feeding back through you.
No,
because I wanted to make sure that I'm good to go for stream tomorrow, and I wanted to make sure that I could listen to you guys too.
Okay.
So, and it was great jumping in with y'all, and hope that the new studio sounds better than the old one.
Oh, it sounds pretty good.
Great.
All right, appreciate it.
And
some tweaks. I had to do some extra tweaks while I took and set the new one up. I got a lot of different things.
Well, it was great having you here, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, and we'll be back here next week at the same time. If you want to show up, you're more than welcome. So
I will try, and I'll probably be still moving until about the end of the month.
All right.
All right, but my first live shows will be starting tomorrow.
Okay.
And y'all, Roger, don't forget, come on in to Cafe Enigma. We will be there.
All right.
All right, and anybody else that you want to bring in there, just share the link, and then we'll just join right in.
All right.
All right. Hopefully, Summer, Todd, and can come into there. I think that'd be a really good venue for them to, come in and
be a part of.
Meet some of my crew, and they've already interviewed a few, so it's time for them to come on us.
Sounds good.
All right. Am I blasting you guys out? Because it looks like I'm like peeking out over here like really crazy.
No, you sound normal.
You sound pretty good here.
You sound okay. Yeah.
Okay. I know that I come through strong no matter what.
Okay, so I am going to go ahead and get off of here and say thank you guys for being with us. Bye.
Gents. See you next time.
If you have something else coming up later on tonight, Roger, just shoot me a line and add me into the call, and I'll be in there.
All right.
I want to take a little break tonight before big stream tomorrow, and that's going to be my break from moving.
All right. I
Right.
can do it. I will talk to you guys later.
All right.
Will
Bye.
do.
Take care.
You too.